Hey everyone, welcome back to Cosmic Life Astrology. Today we are talking about the week of June 17th through the 24th. I'm going to focus on two major energies at play for this week, and that is Venus and Mercury conjuncting, as well as the Capricorn Full Moon. So I'm going to backtrack to this past weekend when we saw Venus and Mercury coming closer together in the sky. They officially conjuncted on Sunday at 29 degrees of Gemini. And with this energy, Mercury rules the conjunction because it is in its home sign of Gemini. There could have been a lot of conversations taking place between females, family members, partners, whoever it may be, whether it's about travel plans, what you need from those relationships. It could have been about two different sides of a situation or different perspectives to consider, because Gemini is very dualistic and can be about, understanding that not everything is black and white, that sometimes there is a gray area and a middle ground to consider. And so with these conversations that were happening in Gemini, it is a very mutable sign. They could have been very easy, lighthearted conversations. But then the energy shifts as Venus and Mercury walked hand in hand together into the sign of Cancer today. And so that means that the conversations now are changing to a more reserved or sensitive or nostalgic kind of conversation. It could be that you were talking to people about planning a trip, since that's a mercurial energy. And now you're reminiscent on previous, travel that you did with that person or experiences that you had together. You could be nostalgic about your family, about your loved ones, about your partner, and different things that you've done together, or just nostalgic overall on your past experiences. Cancer loves to look at the past. They remember every detail about things. But Cancer is also a very sensitive energy, a very maternal energy. It loves home and family. That is Cancer's safe place. They like to retreat to their home when they are overwhelmed, especially when they are overwhelmed emotionally. That is where they need to kind of regroup themselves and really reflect on what it is they're feeling. And so we see the energy shifting in these conversations throughout the week now, leading up to the Capricorn full moon. And, these conversations may be taking a more sensitive approach to a particular situation, or a sensitive approach towards your partner, your loved ones, or a very maternal focus. And when we see it leading up to a full moon, it really it foretells its significance, okay? This to me says that these conversations are going to have an impact on the full moon energy, especially as Venus and Mercury are going to be not completely opposing the full moon, but almost, it's a very loose opposition. And so what we're feeling and what we're trying to build may be, maybe confusing to navigate. With the similarities between Cancer and Capricorn is they both need safety and security, right? Capricorn likes to build something with a firm foundation. They want something that's stable, that's going to last. They want to do things the right way. They're not afraid of hard work. And if this is playing out, whether it's in your love life, your family life, your work life, financially, there's a focus on having stability and structure and safety in some way, shape, or form. Cancers also need that same safety and stability in order for them to, really show their underbelly, right? And so when we have this full moon happening on Friday, we see it happening at the first degree of Capricorn, which that in itself tells me that there's a newness to this full moon energy. Now we also see the full moon making a loose square to Neptune. Excuse me. It's a few degrees off from being a perfect square, but it's still there. It's still a factor to consider. And that is an added factor of trying to make sure that you're seeing things clearly, that whatever it is you're trying to plan and envisioning, that you are thinking of all the things that would make you happy. If you're planning a trip and you're envisioning, this perfect paradise getaway, and you're dreaming up all these different experiences you want to have during this vacation, this is a great energy to tap into with that square. There could be a need to compromise when you have a square aspect. You may have to consider what other people want to experience as well. If this plays out in a relationship, there could be some new emotions that are, coming up. It's more so in a newer relationship where you have to, kind of ease your way into understanding each other. There could be a little bit of tension or uncomfortableness with these new emotions that make you feel a little guarded, but it is a new cycle. Most astrologers will say that the new moons are a new cycle and that the full moons are a completion and a culminating point of a cycle. But that is not always the case. Full moons are very emotionally based. So, we're talking about Cancer energy, a full moon happening in Capricorn. Venus and Mercury are conjuncting all week. There's a lot of sensitivity and emotions behind this full moon. And with it happening at the first degree of Capricorn, I do think this is going to be some kind of new cycle, some kind of new plan, new energy that is part of the conversation. And even more so because this is going to be the first full moon in Capricorn that we will see this summer. We will see a second full moon in Capricorn on July 21st, happening at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So we see a full moon at the beginning of Capricorn and a full moon at the end of Capricorn. And that right there is very significant of a new cycle that you're starting, a new foundation that you may be trying to build, a new plan that may come to culmination during that next full moon at the end of July. So this is, that's a once in a lifetime kind of energy. They call it a blue moon, right? When you have two full moons in the same sign happening, back to back, right? I think we are in for a nice full moon energy that will play out until the next full moon. So I don't think this will be your typical full moon where, people say it'll play out over 2 weeks. I think this energy will play out over the next month. So there will be a strong focus on the Venus-Mercury conversations. There will be a strong focus on our emotions, on our need for safety and stability. There will be a need to really put in the work to make sure that you have your feet firmly planted on the ground. And with the square to Neptune, that's even more of a reason to, keep your feet on the ground. Neptune can be very dreamy and we can get kind of lost in those dreams. Neptune is great for creating things, envisioning, what it is you're trying to build in your life, envisioning the future, envisioning, your plans, and it's very deep and spiritual, and it's behind the scenes. There could be, a lot of things going on behind the scenes in the back of your mind, while these conversations are being had, that has you kind of caught up in, oh, is this real? Oh, is this safe? Do I trust this? Do I, is this the right thing to do? Especially during Cancer season, there could be, that, oh, moving sideways, not sure if it's safe yet to really get comfortable. I really feel like this is like the real energy that we're going to feel is, trying to navigate things very carefully, and, yet honoring what we need and what we want and what our dreams are, what we're trying to plan, what we're trying to create, and I think if you are able to communicate about that effectively, you can avoid confusing situations. You can avoid getting lost in the Neptune sauce. And I think this will be a really great cycle to begin something that you can really, at the end of the cycle, really feel safe and comfortable with. And I say that because at the end of the day, Cancer and Capricorn, they both want that. They want that safety and that stability. They want something that is going to, stand the test of time. And when we're talking about possible travel plans, there could be that need for, what's going to keep everybody happy, what's going to be good for the family. And, also, let's not, empty our pockets completely in planning this dream vacation, right? Because Capricorn is also about, our financial foundation. So, be mindful of that, because that is another factor, especially with Venus in the mix of these conversations. And so I do think this will be a nice energy to tap into for the next month, not just this week, not just the next 2 weeks. I think this is a month-long energy. And when we see the next Capricorn full moon take place, not only will it exactly square Neptune, but it will trine Uranus. So that'll be an added little bonus, when we're talking about a trine to Uranus in Taurus. There's opportunity for change. There's opportunity, you have two earth signs trining in this next full moon cycle. There's an opportunity for stability, an opportunity to create something that you feel safe and comfortable with, that you value, or that values you the way that you need to be valued. So we will dive deeper into that come July when we get closer to the second Capricorn full moon. I'm going to tap into the Venus and Mercury energy right now and say, if you like this video, please share it, like the video, comment, let me know how it's playing out for you, what you're feeling. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, why not? Hit the subscribe button. This way you get notified every time I make a video. I am here every week talking about the transits for each week. And hey, it helps me with the algorithm, helps me grow my channel, and everyone benefits. So I will leave you with that, and I hope you all have a great week. Enjoy it, everybody. Bye.